When I'm thinking about working in layers and this process where I'm building the colours and building the depth and then finalising the final details, there's definitely a time frame element, and people often say to me, I wonder how long that took you to paint. And it can take me anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks to execute a picture from start to finish. And that can be mostly starting on the canvas and finishing on the canvas. So there's actually a lot of time that goes into it, and my days are quite full. Like if someone tries to contact me, it's difficult for me to pick up the phone and answer because I don't want to lose the colours that I've mixed. Even though they're oils, I like to feel like I'm in the moment and I'm at one in a way with the object. I actually really need peace and harmony and balance in my life, and obviously the collection is all about balance. So finding a space that I'm comfortable in and creating that ritual when I sit down and I start the process of painting. I love an environment that is inspiring, so I like really nice music, or I'll listen to a podcast. If you think about these little strokes, they take a lot of focus and a lot of strength, in the sense that I don't want to be moving and shaking around a lot. So this ritual for me is all about creating harmony in my space and then not really getting up, as often as I would like, so I can really focus on what I'm doing and try and execute it the best way that I can. And I must say, it was actually really hard for me to accept this, but one of the first pieces that I started when I came into painting again during COVID, I got halfway through and then I had a weekend break, and then I came back to it on the Monday, and I was just looking at it thinking that I'm not happy with that. So that was really hard for me to accept. I had to be vulnerable and put my ego aside, and I realised that we do make mistakes, and that was actually something that I wasn't proud of. And that enabled me to focus my energy on the collection, and that's when I came to the point where I was like, I need to do a body of work that I'm really proud of. I think for me there's no final moment when it comes to the piece that's a physical thing. It's very subconscious, and usually, earlier on in my career when I first learnt to paint, I was told to step away from your work as often as you can, because sometimes when you come back to something you realise where the errors and the faults are. And so I must say, there are times when you're working on a piece, you're looking at it so closely you don't realise where you're potentially going wrong. So the best thing for me is I will complete a piece, and usually for me it seems to always be towards the end of the week, and I like to take the weekends for myself and my family to have a bit of a break. And then I'll come back on a Monday and think, is this piece ready? And then the final thing for me is my signature. So I will never put my signature on a piece until I'm completely happy with it. And usually it takes me a couple of days or maybe a week of just looking and thinking and leaving the piece until I come back and I'm satisfied, and then I finish the piece with my signature, and that's when I'm happy with it.